Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. So I wanted to sit down and film a full face of Tower 28. They are one of my most favorite brands ever. I do mention them quite a lot here on my channel. Maybe not so much recently. I've really been loving a few other brands, which if you consistently watch my videos, you will probably know all of those brands that I mention over and over. But I still am using Tower 28. It might not be on camera, but I am still using their products. They have some really amazing products. They're usually always in my favorites in some way or the other. First, I'm going to start out with the Tower 28 Sunny Days. This is the SPF 30 tinted sunscreen. This one is in 05 Fairfax. This is not the right shade for me. I should have bought the shade that I usually go for, which is 10 Larchment. That's my better match. This one is kind of almost like, at least on me, a peachy pinky undertone. It's just not right. I don't know why I decided to buy this shade. I guess I thought it was going to be lighter than the one I was using because this is the lightest shade, but it ends up not really working out that much for me. I have gone through maybe about two or three of these tubes, and it is something that I will continue to repurchase for a very long time, but just in my correct shade. So let me put some of that on the back of my hand. I'm not going to use too much, and I'm going to show it to you on the back of my hand so you can kind of maybe see the undertone, because I feel like it almost looks like a peachy pink undertone, at least on me. I don't know. It's supposed to be a pink undertone, but I don't think that's pink. Now, I don't have a pink undertone anyway. I have much more of a warm undertone. So 10 Larchment is a better option, and I should have went with that one in the first place, but I tried something out and it didn't work, and I will know for the future. Also, I do want to mention one thing, because you probably could see it like around here, and like right in here underneath my lower lip, how I look very splotchy. This is not the first time I've tried to film this video today. This is the second time, and I'm filming this a little bit later. I had to wipe the makeup off earlier, not because anything is wrong with the makeup, but because I am very allergic to ants, and I ended up getting bit by an ant while I was filming, and I I broke out in these red splotches all over my face, my neck, and my chest, and I was having difficulty breathing a little bit because I was like that, and not very pleasant to see, so I had to take the makeup off and I wanted to start back over. But if you do see any remnants left of any kind of redness, like any kind of splotchiness, or you might notice it's not these makeup products, it was the ant bite. I'm very allergic to ants. So everything's good. It seemed to pass pretty quickly this time. Whew. But yeah. So I wanted to get back on here. I did wipe all the makeup off because I said I wanted to start over, because you can see the splotchiness starting to come through, and I didn't want to continue filming, obviously, when I started turning splotchy and having difficulty breathing, so I did remove the makeup and I'm starting over. But I did want to mention that, because if you notice any kind of redness or that kind of thing, it is definitely not these products. I've used Tower 28 products for years. It's not them. I was an ant. One single ant that almost took me out. But I really love this Sunny Days product, and I will absolutely continue to buy it. I definitely want to go back to the shade I was using, because that one is a little bit better of a match for me. This one's not terrible, and in person it's not too far off. I don't know how it's going to look on camera because I do have a ring light on it. It's not too far off in person, but I would much prefer to have the other shade, because that one does have that more yellow undertone, so it does blend in a little bit better with my skin. But the product itself is incredible. Oh, and this is a Refi, like their complexion brush. Tower 28 doesn't have brushes currently. So next I'm going to take, yeah, notice a little bit of redness out here. Now that is more so, I get redness in that area just in general, regardless of ant bites or not, but I am feeling more red in certain areas other than, you know, more than usual. This is the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. Mine's in the shade BH. This is one of my top favorite concealers. It is getting to the bottom of this tube, because I've noticed that I really kind of have to scrape that applicator to get anything out, and I've been using it consistently for, this tube's probably like, you know, a year or two. Oh no, 2 years old, because I forgot I had the date on it. So yeah, this is 2 years old at this point, and I've been using it consistently, so I feel like now it's getting to the very bottom. So I might really need to go ahead and consider it an empty and buy a fresh one, because it is one that I want to have in my collection. I do really, really love this concealer. It is absolutely beautiful on the skin. It blends in very easily. It's just a really lovely concealer, and I do like this one all over the face as well. Like, I have used it as foundation, and I like it like that too. That's kind of my test for concealers. Can they, of course, conceal, but can I use them as foundations? Because a lot of times I'm into those very quick and easy days, a tinted sunscreen and then a concealer, and you know, be out the door. And when I say tinted sunscreen, I don't necessarily mean this one. I mean more of the, like the skincare, more of this SPF that just happens to have a little tint. It's not actually a makeup product, you know, like the Ilia Sun Serum SPF or the Summer Fridays one. Products like that is what I'm talking about. I'm going to take a little dot of that right here, and maybe about right here, because I don't know if this shade might be a little too light with this shade of the Sunny Days. And I'm just going to take my finger and blend that out. Take that a little on the lid, but not too much. These products are really, really lovely. I do really enjoy this brand. Now, the only thing that I won't be using of theirs in this video is brow products. They don't have any brow products at all yet. I'm hoping they will eventually. I would love to see a tinted brow gel from them in the future. I mean, an eyebrow pencil too, of course, for those who want more of a pencil, but I would really love to see a tinted brow gel. Maybe that will eventually come. Okay, and now that I've kind of done that, I'm going to go ahead and do some lip prep. Honestly, I was going to use this, but even though this is not a stinging kind of plumper, I don't know if I want to put that around my mouth right now, because I still see some kind of swelling and kind of some splotchiness coming through there. So I think I might just go into the Lip Softy. This one is in Blood Orange Vanilla. This is more of a red, which with this shirt, we might look a little Christmassy, but maybe if I just apply a little bit of this on the lips. I just don't know if I want to go into a plumper, considering what's going on. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my finger and apply it like so. Okay, that's not too red when I do it like that. So that might be a little too much with this shirt. Yeah, okay, that's better. I did not really, even though their plumper is not like a super stingy plumper, I just feel like that was not a good idea to go in with something like that around my mouth area, because that's where I'm still a little slightly swollen and splotchy. So next I'm going to go into the Sculptino, their cream bronzer. Now, I do have pretty good pan in this. I used to pronounce this shade as Broad. It's B-R-O-A-D, but somebody told me it was actually pronounced Broad. I can't remember what they said that was in California, if it was a location or something. I can't remember what they told me, but of course I will have all the products listed and linked for you below, and I will have the shade names as well. So if I'm ever mispronouncing anything, just know that the shade names will be in the description. I'm going to use that same Refi brush to apply this. I really, really, really love this cream bronzer. In fact, if you watched my video, it went up probably a few weeks ago now. I did a cream bronzer ranking video, and this one, well, I'll go ahead and give a spoiler anyway. This one was in my top 5. It is such a beautiful product. It's so easy to work with, so easy to blend out, and it's just a really stunning tone. I just like to keep it on the softer side, but it's one of those that I feel like even if I went too heavy-handed, it blends out so easily that I don't see it being an issue. But it's really, really lovely on the skin. I am going to also bring this out here on the cheeks and on the eyelids as well. They don't have like actual eyeshadow powder, eyeshadow I should say, but they do have eyeshadow sticks. So I do want to take my bronzer, and then I'm going to go in with the blush too on the eyelids, just to add a little something to the lid. You can see it's just a really beautiful, subtle shade, at least this one. Now, I'm not applying too much of it. You can build it up to be a little bit more than this, but I'm just trying to keep it kind of on the softer side, which is what I typically prefer. You can see it's just a really pretty, subtle shade. Of course, this brush is a little bit more I don't want to say fluffy, but not quite densely packed, so it does kind of evenly distribute the product and not really apply too much, which is what I like. Now for the blush, I'm going into the Beach Please shade, and this one is in Finest Hour, which is this beautiful red shade. These are very pigmented, especially a shade like this, but it is so lovely on the cheeks. I'm going to take the Versed Perfector brush, and I'm going to take the a little bit larger side. This is a nice brush for, I feel like, going in with shades like this to really diffuse them out, especially if you have much more of a lighter skin tone like I do. These are quite pigmented blushes. Very pigmented. Okay, and then I like to really tap that off onto the back of my hand. You can see that shade is very pigmented. But I feel like this brush is quite helpful in diffusing it so it's not too much. As you can see, it just diffuses that out very nice and soft. I really love this brush from Versed. I think it is perfect for like this if you're trying to make a cream blush a little more subtle. Now, I have not tried it with an actual liquid blush, like the Rare Beauty ones, for example. That might be a really perfect test for a brush like this, but at least for these very pigmented cream blushes, I really like how it diffuses that out very nicely. Because you can see just how soft and subtle it kept that really bright, vibrant red shade. But I do like to go in and pick up enough on that brush, so I don't want it to be, you know, too little, because I want it to spread evenly into that brush, into the bristles. So I'm not applying it in a very patchy way. Because you can see just how soft and subtle it is keeping that bright red shade, which is just what I personally prefer. Now, if you want the opposite, you want a lot of pigment, then I don't know. I mean, I still think this brush is good for, like, if you want to use it for powder or anything like that. But if you're not wanting such a subtle cream blush, you might want to go in with something obviously a little more densely packed. But for what I'm looking for, this brush is perfect. You can see just how subtle that made that. I might have went in a little too subtle over there. Of course, I know if I try to go in with more, I might be overboard, but I'm going to attempt to go in with just a touch more on that side. Because at least in person, I don't know how it's going to look on camera, but in person, it's a little bit more subtle than the other side. So let's go in with a little, just a little bit more. Nothing too much, just a little. And I'm really pressing that off onto my hand as well. I feel like this is the perfect summer shade ever. Like, whether you keep it subtle or really build it up, it's just a perfect shade. Next, I'm going to go into the Get Set Pressed Powder, and this one is in Palisades Pink, which you can see. I have a pretty nice size pan in there, and I did completely empty the translucent version of this. I really love this powder. I'm going to take this side of that Perfector brush, the smaller side, and really pick this up. This is such a nice lightweight powder. I feel like I never have any issues with it. It is one of my top favorites. And I definitely will be repurchasing the translucent shade eventually, but I said that I'd like to use up this pink one first and then buy the translucent one. But it's a really nice lightweight powder. I feel like it's one of those that it's hard to go overboard with it. Like, it just smooths everything out really nicely. The only thing that I will say, and I don't know if it was just me, when I first got the translucent one, and this one's some too, but the translucent one did it more than this one, I did notice how it was a little bit crumbly, but the more I used it, the more that really wasn't much of an issue. But I did want to bring that up in case you've never tried it and you bought it and experienced that. I had the same issue as well, but that went away the more I used it. Okay, now since they don't have brow products, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do that off camera, and I'll come back and we're going to move on to the actual eye steps. This is their Go Go Cooling Shimmer Stick, and this one's in the shade Avalon. This is their eyeshadow stick. I don't really like these. I feel like this is an eyeshadow stick, at least this shade. I don't really like this shade either. Let me swatch it for you. I don't really like this shade. I wish I had went with one of the more, like, I think there's one that's a little bit more champagne or goldish. I wish I had went in with that one more than this one. This is pretty, but it's not my favorite. That's what that looks like. And I mean, it's a pretty shade when you're looking at it in a swatch, but I don't know. I just don't really like that on my eyes for some reason. But it is definitely a cooling formula. So if the idea of that you don't really like, then I would say skip these. But if you like the idea of a cooling eyeshadow stick, you might enjoy it. I feel like it's one of those that on me, it doesn't last. It's definitely not like my Ilia eyeshadow sticks. Those last on me. Now, this one, it creases very badly, at least on me. Now, I expect one crease right in there, like where I have the actual fold here of my eye. I expect that. This one tends to crease all over, like everywhere, and it doesn't last. I feel like it within a matter of, I don't even know, it's gone. But I do have it. I'm going to use it for this video because I don't even know if I've actually mentioned these on my channel or not. It's also one of these that it's very easy to break. Like the actual eyeshadow stick is very easy to break or kind of, I don't know. I'm trying not to apply a lot of pressure because of that reason. Because the last time I wore this, it chunked on my eyeball because so much come off of the actual stick part. So I'm trying to be a little bit more subtle. I mean, it's so pretty when you first apply it, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't really get along with this one very much. I don't know. I don't really like this shade either. There's something about the undertone that's not quite right for me. I don't know. It's just, no, I don't really like these, and I don't really know why I held on to this one. I guess I was hoping that I could make it work for me, but so far, every time I've tried to wear it, it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's this shade. I just personally like the Ilia ones way better than this one. Which, I mean, it's very pretty on the eyes initially, but I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't last. So this is definitely not my favorite, but since I have it and it's the only type of eyeshadow they have, I'm gonna wear it. But I'm not really that impressed by these. Of course, everybody is different. You might try it and love it, and I hope you do if you want to try one of these, or if they are already your favorite. I love that. I'm glad that they do work for you. I just can't get this one to work for me, and maybe it's because I put my Ilia ones on such a very high pedestal that other eyeshadow sticks don't really compare. That could be also the case, but I mean, actually, no. This goes away. Every time I've ever worn it, it goes away fairly quickly. It creases everywhere, I mean like all over the lid, and then it just, nothing. Okay, now for mascara, I'm going to go into the Make Waves mascara, and this one is in Drift, which is their brown. I really love their mascara, both the brown and the black shade. I think they're both nice. I don't have any smudging or flaking with either of them. They're just really nice mascaras. So that's that mascara on both sides. It's a really pretty mascara. For the lips, I'm going to first start out with this one liner in the shade Work of Art. I love these from Tower 28. They're always some of my most favorite lip liners ever, and I really love a wooden lip liner as well. Okay, I just lightly lined my lips with that. And then over the top of that, I'm going in with the Shine On Lip Jelly in XOXO, which is just like a very sheer red shade. I believe they still sell this one. I've been trying to work my way through these lip glosses. I haven't touched this one yet. I plan to soon. I've gone through like 5 of them so far. This is one of my favorite lip gloss formulas. It's not because I don't like them. I've just been trying to work the collection down because I did have all of the shades yet again. Let me kind of show you. That's what that looks like. It's like a pinky reddish clear shade. It actually looks a little more pinky on my hand than red, but it's okay. We're just gonna go in with this right over the top. But here is this full face of Tower 28. I think these products are just really, really lovely, really pretty on the skin. I typically get along very well with their makeup. There are a few exceptions here or there. I'm not the biggest fan of these eyeshadow sticks. I think on the right person they probably would be fine, but for me, I don't know. I just don't think they compare much to my Ilia ones, but I had this shade and I wanted to wear it for the sake of this video, but other than that, I just really love the way these products look. They're so super pretty, and I do really, really love this brand. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and follow me on Instagram at jessicadeerly. All of these products will be listed and linked for you below, as well as in the YouTube shopping tag feature, and if you click through and purchase, I do earn a small commission, and if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!